G'day, I'm Ralph Schwarz. Welcome to Geoterrics Outdoors Australia. Quite some time ago, I was in a business partnership with the late Walter Dees, or Walt Dees, an underwater cinematographer, and we were pitching a show to Channel 10 through Beyond Productions called Life in the Drink. And in that program, I had a segment planned that was a day in the drink with, and it was going to be a celebrity of one sort or another. And I thought I'd borrow that, or actually take my idea from that, and another idea that another YouTube creator gave me some feedback on, and create a segment called A Day in the Outdoors With, and have some prominent people from the outdoors community and interview them. So my first guest is someone I've admired for quite some time. You've seen her on one other vid that I've produced. She's a wildlife ecologist, a team leader for Bush Blitz. She was a sanctuary ambassador. She was a superstar of STEM from Cosmos magazine, 2018 Eureka Prize finalist, and 2019 Australian of the Year for the ACT finalist. I reckon that's rigged. If you know her, you would have voted her in for that. She's an avid and passionate contributor to the outdoors community. She has a fantastic website. You have to go and check it out. It's in the description. She's a presenter and guest on various magazine articles and other videos in the outdoors community. She's a YouTube creator, and on her YouTube channel she has day hikes, through hikes, section hikes, overnight hikes. She's got tips on food and packing. She's got bushcraft even, and she's got pack rafting. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Kate Grarock. Thanks for coming on board, Kate.
Thanks so much for having me.
No, my pleasure. All right, so how about you tell the people who are watching what's your platform or your output? Basically tell us about your endeavours in the outdoors and ecology and YouTube and the web. Tell us all about what you're doing.
So I've got the YouTube platform, and that's sort of a really cool way, that and the website, for me to share my passion of nature. And so, I love sharing the hikes I do because it's just really fun, and I get to relive it in the edit and then put it online, and people get inspired. I've had people contact me and say that they've gotten into hiking from watching my channel, and my friends have really sort of pushed me to be like, oh, do a video on this, do a video on that. And so I've done the ones, like how to go to the toilet outdoors, and how to treat water, a bit of bushcraft and things like that. And so it's just, I'm so passionate about nature, and I know my own trajectory and my own learning path, and I guess I put content out there that I wish I knew 10 years ago and didn't lug around that heavy pack. And
brilliant.
Yeah,
cool. All right, so how did you get started?
Yeah, look, I always wanted to do something in that space, and at first I was thinking maybe podcasts, and then I sort of saw a few friends that did YouTube, and I thought, oh, that could be a good way of, putting my love of nature out there in the world. And certainly, lockdown a couple of years ago, I was feeling pretty sad and not being able to hike. There'd just been the huge fires through Australia, and I just sort of reconnected with some old videos and photos from an old hike I did from Sydney to Malakuta, 700 k's along the coast. Amazing hike.
That was a solo, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did that solo, and I loved reliving those photos and those little videos, and so I put something together and put it on YouTube. And yeah, it was a bit scary to put it out there at first, but then the reception and the YouTube community has been so friendly and welcoming. I guess I just got the bug from there.
Yeah. It is a fantastic community, isn't it?
It's so encouraging.
So tell me, this is one of those generic questions, and I'm happy for you to take it whichever way you want. Who were or / are your influences? Yeah,
great question. Obviously there's like amazing YouTube creators out there, but honestly, honestly, a huge sort of inspiration for me is my friends. And so they sometimes watch my videos and they'll recommend, hey, I'd love to know how you do this, or could you do a video on that? And so that's really encouraging to me to sort of get that feedback. Sometimes a little bit critical, but
yeah, I get that.
Good to get there. But there's probably one of my favourite YouTubers at the moment is Elena Osborne. I think is a Kiwi chick.
Oh, yeah.
She's just amazing. She's got this beautiful, chilled out vibe, but just her cinematography and her storytelling is just next level.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. But hey, Kate, like I mentioned in the intro, you've also been on other people's YouTube channels and been on video. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I did a bit with Caro Ryan back in the day when I worked in the sanctuary, and I had this cute little animal called a bettong, which is basically a miniature kangaroo, and they used to live all over the Australian mainland, but then foxes and cats eradicated them, eating them and stuff like that. So I worked on a project where we reintroduced them behind a predator-proof sanctuary fence, and yeah, that was a beautiful project to work on.
I love what you wrote about that particular project, that you didn't even know what a bettong was, that you weren't a very good student.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing, we've lost all these species of animals from our Australian landscape due to foxes and cats, and it's amazing to hold one in your hand and just realise, what was there and try and help bring it back a bit.
Fantastic. All right, Kate, one of the other questions I've sent to you is, what's your favourite memory of the outdoors? Do you have something that was formative in your memory as a child or as a young adult, or even just recently? It's up to you.
Yeah, look, there's just so many. I feel like every time I'm outdoors there's just something that blows me away. But in thinking about that one, probably from when I was a young girl hiking, I think it was about 14, and my mum, we did a lot of hiking in the Grampians. And one day I planned this big long hike. It's actually sort of along the Grampians Peak Trail now. The olden days I sort of planned it. Olden days. And Mum dropped me off as a 14-year-old girl, and off I went on my own. And we had this plan that, at the end of the day she would drive sort of up to Zumpsteins and hike in and meet me at the other end. And I just felt like such an explorer, that she trusted me with that, and to be on my own and to get out there and just absolutely hammer myself, hiking so hard and navigating all on my own. And yeah, that was a really, really special moment for me.
Wow, sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got to ask one question.
Yeah.
Were you a tomboy growing up?
Definitely, yep. Definitely.
So what makes you happy or sad? There's probably, as an avid hiker, you're going to have both.
Yeah.
What's some of the things that tick you off, and what's some of the other things that you like?
Yeah, I mean, nature just blows me away. So even, being out here in our backyard just makes me feel so happy. But definitely, when you see people that have kind of trashed the environment, that really upsets me. I know I did that Cape to Cape in WA. Yep. And there was the amount of rubbish I saw there was just mind-boggling. And I think it's, mostly day trippers and car campers that are leaving it, but it really does detract from such a beautiful environment, and that upsets me. I'm a huge fan of Leave No Trace, so yeah, that's my passion. What I love, so many things. I love just playing with all my gear. Sometimes I'll set up my gear in my backyard and just tinker with it all, and having a campfire, or your meal at the end of the day after you're just absolutely tired, and the stars. It's just all of it. I love all of it.
Fantastic. What won't you leave home without?
Well, I'd like to say in a safety world, my personal locator beacon. I remember, this is a bit of an aside story, but one day I was doing this epic hike in the Buttawangs, and I felt so, hardcore, and finished up for the day, and then took the gaiters off, left all the stuff in the car, and just did this little hike out to a lookout, thongs, and boom, there's a brown snake I nearly trod on. The whole day was nothing. And then just when I think I'm in safety and in the the manicured landscape, so yeah, I always like to take a personal locator beacon.
Cool.
Cooler items, oof, I don't know.
Do you have a favourite hat or?
Oh yeah, I do love my hat. I love my little Lone Peak shoes.
Beautiful. My
nice little wide duck feet. And I'm loving my tent at the moment. I've got a duplex, Z-Pax duplex, and it's 600 grams, and it's just a beautiful tent.
Fantastic.
So many things.
All right, so in the intro I talked about your day job.
Yes.
And explained that you're a team leader for Bush Blitz.
Yep.
Would you like to explain a little bit more about what your day job is?
Yeah. So for Bush Blitz, we are a species discovery program. So we go all over Australia trying to discover new species of plants and animals. So we get to some pretty amazing places, get chop it into gorges, and I lead a team of scientists. So I'm more logistics these days, not so much like Dr. Kate, but it's still a pretty cool job.
Yeah, wow. And if you weren't doing that job, what would you be? What's your ideal job?
Look, yeah, I think my passion for hiking is certainly a huge thing, and it would just be an absolute dream to one day be able to sort of transition into that space, whether it's being, I don't know, taking guided walks or advising governments on hiking trails. That would be the dream job, I guess. But yeah,
wow.
We'll see. Can't give up the day job yet.
You and me both. What's your top 3 bucket list destinations?
I do love the long trails, so I would love to do the Bibbulmun, and I'd love to do the Hyson Trail in South Australia. I'm originally from South Australia, so I think there's something beautiful about sort of hiking past my auntie's house and things like that. It'd be quite lovely. It's a long trail. And then I just want to do a heap of hiking in Tassie. There's no overseas stuff there, but obviously there'd be some amazing hikes overseas. But I think they're my top 3 areas that I'd love to do in Australia.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So Kate, where's Kate Grarock channel going? What plans have you got, and you're talking before about your trajectory?
Yeah. Look, like I'm really enjoying putting stuff out there at the moment. It would be the dream to let it build a bit more. I've just launched memberships, so that's a way for people to sort of engage with me a little bit closer. We have sort of some chats and, buy me a beer on the trail or something like that to help out the channel. At the moment I'm just sort of funneling anything that I make off the channel straight into buying cool camera equipment and upgrading my, editing software and stuff like that. And
But you're not going to be using your iPhone anymore.
Yeah. I invested in like a little, like a gimbal and a few things like that. So yeah, I just want to get better at, I guess, at the craft of, putting it together. And it's a strange balance between doing these like crazy hikes and then like stopping to actually film them. So like I know a lot of the time I'll be bush bashing and I'll just sort of be at the end of the day and so tired and the camera just gets put away.
I was talking to a mate of mine in Brisbane who's got a channel, and he was saying, setting up the camera and this and that, and how do you do all that? And do you have patience for that? And I said, I have Sonia. I've got an offsider, and he went,
that's so good. Yeah.
Having someone. Does your partner help with some of the filming?
Not really.
This is B-roll.
No, you're right. No, she's actually a communications expert, but you think I'd get a bit more help. But no, I think.
Have you worked with anyone on the hiking stuff before?
No, I don't think I've done any YouTube stuff. My mate Jimmy, he's an amazing, camera guy, and so I drag him out on hikes, and he gets a bit of footage of me. And we just did a hike recently, and now he's gone and he's bought all this new equipment because he's like, I'm so upset with my shaky footage, and like he's got a beautiful camera, and he's so good at editing. I get embarrassed that he like watches my stuff.
Yeah, I watch some pretty amazing YouTubers and just go, when I grow up, I want to be like them.
Yeah. But it's just this exponential growth in time, isn't it? Of like, you edit it and you can just throw it together in, a night, or you could just spend like 3 weeks editing. It's it's an interesting space.
Just while we're talking technique, which editor do you use?
I have just got Final Cut Pro.
Woohoo.
I've reinvested my little nest egg. Yeah.
Good on you.
And so, and getting used to that software too is a bit of a jump. And but yeah, I think it allows you a lot more flexibility than just the good old iMovie.
Well, hey, you're doing great with the iMovie, I've got to say.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I just got back from filming with Kate and realised we didn't do an exit segment. We were too busy exploring the local area at Mount Majura there in Canberra. Beautiful spot, actually, and thanks for Kate for suggesting that. I'd like to say thank you to Kate for coming on to this first segment of A Day in the Outdoors with. It was an absolute pleasure. If you don't know about Kate, I suggest you click on the link in the description and go and check out her channel. She's a spectacular YouTube creator. She's a fantastic ambassador for the Australian outdoors. She's part of our great community. It was my absolute pleasure to have her on this segment. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please also go to Kate's channel and watch her videos and give her a thumbs up and subscribe. You won't be disappointed with her content. And thanks for watching.